guys, on today's episode we're going to be talking about the joining JY-UL135 head unit. Okay, so let's open the box. Actually, we have the screws that go into the dash kit. We have an ISO harness for the head unit. So basically what you would do is this plug will plug into the radio. Let's open this up. This will plug into the radio, and then you're going to get a harness that will connect to your car and then also plug into these, so you don't have to do any cutting, splicing, and stuff like that. It's already done for you, and Join, based on your car, does sell these, the harness for this part. So you have to go to carjoin.com and look for the harness for your car. We have the microphone that'll plug into the head unit. We have the GPS antenna. We have a trim ring, where if you have space around the radio, this should fill in the gaps depending on how big the gap is. We have the manual and also the wiring diagram. So basically this will tell you all the RCAs, that you can hook up your camera to the USB, your antenna, if you want to hook up headrest monitors, their TV box, reverse camera, all the pinouts for the radio harness, your Wi-Fi antennas, how to hook up an amp. And then this basically shows you everything about the radio. What we got? This is this would be the universal. So if you don't want to get one of these adapters, you can just, if you already have one, you could just splice it into these wires and then plug this into the radio. Okay, so we can do this. And also, they sent me the Honda wires for the harness, since this we're going into a 2012 Civic. So instead of using splicing with these, or getting a custom ISO harness, they sent this, which basically has the decoder for the steering wheels and other CAN bus stuff. The auxiliary to keep the auxiliary aux in. And then these will connect to the Honda connectors that normally would plug into the Honda radio. And also the antenna for the Honda. So now let's get to the radio. take a look at the back. You have your 2 antenna wires, the harness. Then you have your front left, front right, rear left, rear right, left in, right in for auxiliary, video in for auxiliary. So if you wanted to hook the TV box, you plug them into these 3. Your sub and video 1 out and video 2 out, which will go to monitors. Your GPS plug, and then your antenna plug. Then also, you get your TV USBs. On the other side, you have your power and also your volume. This does have an internal mic. However, if that does not sound good to you, you can wire this up. This will plug into this connector here. Now, most people think this is an auxiliary jack, but it's actually a 4-pole connector for this. You have your power button, volume, home, back, navigation, source, your 2 SD card slots for GPS and storage, and your reset button. Now the navigation button you can change to go to any navigation app you have installed, such as their default iGo or Navigon, Government Street Pilot, Waze, Google Maps, apps like that. Alright, and also on top they just show the wiring diagram. It's basically the same thing in the book, where all the wires go, the radio antenna, speakers, all that stuff. Alright, so let's get this plugged in and take a look at the software. I've got the 12 volts DC power hooked up to this. It is running Android 5.1.1 Lollipop. So let's take a look. Fire up 12 volts power. That beep was just the power supply, not the head unit. Okay, here we are. So, this is basically the head unit. When you first boot it up, you get to this page, we have the navigation. Now, this button here, and this navigation button here, this one, you can reprogram these to whatever button you select. I'm sorry, whatever app you have installed for GPS, whether it's SideJack, Waze, their iGo program that's pre-installed, Google Maps. So when you hit these buttons, it's going to take you to whatever app you select. So by default, it's going to go to the iGo program. And the same thing here too. Because I go. Okay, so first things first is, since we're inside and we want to preload some apps ourselves before we put this in the car, let's go to the Wi-Fi. Okay. Actually, when we go home, this should populate with the time and date, as you can see here. Alright, so now we're installed. So now the first thing we want to do is set this up for the car we're going to set it up for. It's not what you want to do. Let's actually pick a different display so we can actually see the text on the screen. So let's go to wallpaper. We're going to pick, let's see here. Let's pick a nice dark background. That's what we got. This one should, that'll be fine. Let's see how that looks. Perfect. Alright, so let's go to your settings again. Actually, let's take a look at the screen. So we have the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. It's already picked up my iPad because I've had this in there before from a different head unit. Go more. Tethering and portable hotspot. So basically, let's say you have the 3G or 4G dongle plugged into the USB cable. You can actually turn this head unit into a Wi-Fi hotspot. So all your friends can pretty much connect to the Wi-Fi on here and use the dongle internet. VPN, if you have a work VPN and you want to install maybe your VoIP app on here for calls for work, you can do that as well. Display, sound, turn these on if you want to hear button presses. Volume just brings the volume up. Storage shows you the storage that's available. Total space is 2 gigs on the internal storage, but on the flash they actually give you 12 gigs, but it says 11.41 because of the way it's formatted, and it gives you about 7.5 gigs available because they take up a couple space. Actually, clear some stuff out of there. I'm not sure why it's still. I'm not sure what they. Oh, their iGo takes up about 3.9 gigs. Now you don't have to use their iGo app, but like I said, you could delete it if you want to reclaim some of that space. Then here's your SD card. If you had SD cards in there, your USB. If you had USB storage, like flash drives and stuff like that. Right. Your apps. These are going to be the apps that you had installed. If you want to delete them, if you want to delete an app, you just click on it. Brings you to this. You could stop it or you can uninstall it. Or, actually, I'm sorry. If you don't want it to show notifications, like up here. Element. This actually. I don't know if you can see it. But up there goes. Up. I don't. Not sure if you can see that. But yeah, you can kind of see it over here. But it actually changes these colors. There you go. See how it's yellow? So if I click on this blue, you're gonna see blue. So that pretty much changes the panel lights. Select the delayed time capture if you want to capture a screenshot, where to store it. If you want to show the screenshot button here, so if you want to take a screenshot, so we'll check it. If you tap on this, it'll take a picture of the screen. So if we go, let's see, security. Unknown sources. Allow installation of apps from unknown sources. Basically, if you download an APK from the online, you can check that and install it. Otherwise, it's not going to let you. If you had special trusted credentials, you can install those. Trust agents. all that stuff. Accounts, if you had a Google account, you can set that up here. I've actually booted up the unit before with the 12 volts just to make sure it was powering up, and I added my Google account in there. Language and inputs. I believe this has 15 different languages in it. Stuff. A lot of languages. Let's see. You can edit the. See, I'm connected with a mouse keyboard, so it shows the receiver here, which is good. Date and time, accessibility, GPS, driving settings. Driving settings, basically, you're allowed to watch video while driving. Do you want to reverse the mirror, reverse the volume, make it go from instead of this way to this way, it goes this way to this way. Rear view or off, so if you don't have the grid lines. If the camera already has the grid lines on it, you can uncheck that, or if it doesn't, you can check and turn it on. Extra settings. Now, the shutdown delay when accessory off. So basically, 30 seconds. So, let's say you get out, you take the key out, and turn the car off. If you come back within 30 seconds, it won't do the boot logo and all that. It'll automatically boot up real quick. So actually, I can show you that. So let's go home real quick. Turn the head unit off. Oh, sorry. Power off. Alright, so let's say you came back before you turned the car back on before 30 seconds. Right back. Then you don't have to do the boot setup. And you can have it. You can set it for as long as you want. So you can set it for 30 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. So basically, 10 minutes. So if you're going to the gas station, pump in your car, turn it off, pump gas, come back in the car, retry it up. Allowed to play music automatically when USB or SD is inserted. So basically, if you put in a USB flash drive or an SD card, it's going to play music right away. You can uncheck that if you don't want to, or you can check. Amplifier, this is where you can pick all your EQ settings. If you want loudness turned on, the fader, where you want the speakers to show. Right now I just have speakers plugged into the front, so we'll just leave it there in the front. Steering wheel keys. Now, if you told Join the type of car you have, and it's a CAN bus, they will automatically pre-do the keys for you. For example, if you go to here and you go to factory settings, password is 126. You get to these settings. App, where we just were, so car logo. If you go to Canvas, see they already selected 07 Honda Civic and CR-V Simple. These are all the CAN buses that they support. Which is quite a lot. Quite a lot. We'll leave it on the one that they picked, CR-V. Swap key, front door, air conditioning, key study, which are these, I believe. other. Here you can pick what radio it is. I'm sorry. The model number of the radio, I guess. I'm not sure what that is. It puts it there. Brightness controlled. How you want to be able to control the brightness of this. Put enabled. Your headlamps control the brightness. Front camera. Switch to front camera when we after reverse. So basically, we put the car in reverse. Backup camera comes on. Back up. Click it on the front. And if you have a DVR camera up top, you can show that. App install. If you don't want to be able to install apps, just disable this. You probably, I'm guessing, disable the way to install apps. Panel LED type, so you can show what type of panel. Save it on the one that they picked. And then panel LED control. It's basically, do you want it to get power from the head unit or by the headlight? Customer version 2. I'm not sure what that means, so we'll leave that blank. Default power status, we'll leave that blank. I'm not going to apply anything. Radio. This is where you pick your radio band. So we're in America. So the America 1. Voice. Not quite sure what goes on here. So we'll just leave it, and we'll just exit since we didn't change anything. Okay. Then about the device. It's basically an ARM Cortex A9 quad core. What a gig of RAM. Here's the serial number, version info. It's 5.1.1. His version number, build number, MTCD. System updates. That's if you want to update the firmware. Alright, so let's change the boot logo. So we're going to go back to here. We're going to go to car logo. Right now it is the drawing logo. So let's look for Civic. Or I'm sorry, Honda. Look for Honda. Now these are in alphabetical order, so should you find it? There it is. Now, if you had the version of the head unit with a DVD drive, you can bring this down, and also you can put car icon or car and DVD icon. It's basically when you pop in a DVD, you can also have it come up with that logo. But since I don't have it, I'll just put car logo, apply, and then exit. Now this machine needs to reboot to apply that image, so we're going to do that. There you go. Boot image is applied. Alright, so now let's add some other apps. So basically I like Spotify. So we're gonna add the Spotify to this. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to the Play Store. I'm gonna type in Spotify Music, and do an install. Accept. Okay, so let's open it up. I'll take a look at how it sounds. Log in. Okay. We'll go to the menu, do a search for a song. We'll play this one. Tap on this. Try the volume button. See the volume button moves. Now, if you want to exit the Spotify app, let's say you want to do something in the background while music's playing, tap on the home button. It minimizes it, and then you can just do whatever you got to do. Let's say you want to browse the web. You got a red light. You want to browse the web. You can browse the web. Okay, so that's Spotify. So we'll stop that. We'll go home. So we got Spotify. So now we need better offline navigation. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the Play Store. Now, I recommend one called Sidecheck. It's free to download. However, and you'll get maps with it. But I recommend doing the premium just because you get a lot of features with the premium, such as lifetime map updates. And for the US, it only costs $66. So for $66, you'll get plenty of stuff. Map updates. I believe you can get live traffic with it as well if you have it hooked up to the internet. I mean, it's a very good app for offline. Now, I won't be able to show you the app fully because, unfortunately, it doesn't detect the GPS antenna inside. But once I get this, once we install it into the Honda Civic, I'll be able to show you the GPS part of it. Now, unfortunately, I can't install it right now because I'm still waiting for the dash kit to come. Because this actually will not fit a standard double DIN dash kit. You have to get one that is 178 millimeters by either 100 or 102 millimeters for it to properly work. Alright, so let's download our maps. So we need to download that. and we need to download, obviously, a voice. So now let's go and download a map. So right now we're in Pennsylvania, so let's download Pennsylvania. Proceed. That should be complete. That's why it's telling the other map. That's why the other one was waiting. Great, map download was successful. The back button. Unfortunately, it says no inaccurate signal. Check hardware settings. That is just because of the antenna. As you see, if we go down here and go to settings, hardware, GPS satellites, it's not really picking up a good signal. Now, because like I said, we're indoors, it's not going to pick up some of the signal that I need. But I can show you part of it. So let's see. Let's show you the store, for example. Premium navigation with car connectivity for smartphone. It's basically, this is the one you want to pick since it's a head unit. It's basically here. You can get live services if you wanted to. I'm sorry, live services is separate. It's about 20 pounds. I forget how much that equals to, but I do know that the premium is about $66 US dollars. That's pretty much it for now. I can show you. Let's go back. Alright, so basically we have that installed. So that is basically the apps pretty much that I want to put on here. So home. That's pretty much it. I can show you it. There you go. Spotify on my iPad was a little bit acting up, but it seems to be working fine now. So I can click on next. My iPad seems to be acting up. Let's try it again. Let's try a different sound. There we go. You know what, let me pair this and put it back up. Just repaired the iPad with the head unit, so it should work correctly this time. Alright, let's try it now. There it goes. Just had to reset the iPad to it. And actually, I'd just like to show you. Pin this back a little bit so I can show you. See, I can show you. Okay, I can show you like this. So if I click on this play button, down. Alright, so here we go. So if I show you, if I click on this pause button, pause it, play, excuse me, next track. So it works pretty quick. I would say really extremely fast. That is it for this part of the video. Next video is going to be showing the install. We're going to actually be installing this on the next video as soon as I get the dash kit, about next week sometime. And I'll be able to show you the GPS and a little bit more like the reverse camera stuff once this is installed. Since we're going to be using the subject, let's change these two buttons for subject. So actually what we're going to go to is, we're going to go to settings, I believe. And then we're going to go to driving settings. No, I'm sorry. I forget where to change the settings. You know what? Give me a second, because I actually forgot where to change the settings at. Okay, especially what you gotta do is you gotta go here, GPS application options. Then here you get to pick what do you want for GPS. Well, we're gonna pick that one. Then we're gonna go back and home. So now if we come over here, instead of using this button, we're gonna tap on that one, and that's going to load us into subject. And also if we go back home, let me tap on the navigate button here. This one kicks us back into subject. Alright, so that is it.